A senior at Chattanooga High School Center for Creative Arts received a huge honor. Lovely Pulliam has been chosen as a National Girls Inc. Scholar. She was awarded a $5,000 scholarship. She was selected for her outstanding academic achievements, community service work, and dedication to the Girls Inc. Pulliam is one of 27 girls National High School Scholars selected to receive this scholarship. Congratulations to her. And today, a historian will hold a lecture on the modern history of Ukraine and Russia. Linda Moss Mines will speak at the downtown library. She will discuss the relationship between Ukraine and Russia and why Russia has declared war, among other topics. Now, it's happening tonight from 5:30 to 6:30. A question and answer session will follow. If you can't make it to the event, the library will stream it on their YouTube channel and they'll record it. That will be posted afterwards. More information can be found on the library's Facebook page and website. And now let's turn to David Carroll for a look at the evening's top stories. Local 3 News at 5 starts now.
Thank you, Cindy. 2 local men were rescued safe and sound from a cave, and this impacted trains in our area. President Biden is making more COVID tests available at no charge. And the Snack Pack program is back in full swing, trying to ensure no child in Hamilton County goes hungry.
This is Local 3 News at 5.
Thank you for choosing us for your local news and weather. 2 missing men were rescued safe and sound from a cave at the foot of Lookout Mountain after being trapped for some 36 hours. The men had traveled 500 feet past the area in which a guided map ends. Officials say the rescue efforts involve some difficult conditions.
A lot of crawling, and there's also a lot of places where you can drop down to a lower level. There was multi-levels to this cave, so that really presented a lot of obstacles.
We also spoke to one of the rescued men, Robbie Dobus, who said he and the other rescued man, Gabriel Vaughn, knew they were lost within a couple of hours of exploring.
We had one headlamp for the past day between the 2 of us. His flashlight fell whenever we were sleeping into the water and went down the stream.
The 2 men could eventually face charges for trespassing. And the rescue impacted trains in our area as well. Mary Frances Hoots is live with some of the ripple effects from this rescue operation. Mary Frances.
David, Norfolk Southern said their trains were stopped for around 12 hours last night. They wanted to take this opportunity to remind people where these men were found in the cave is not supposed to be accessed by the public.
Tuesday night's rescue turned into Wednesday morning. It was long and exhausting, but first responders were able to bring the 2 lost men back to safety, and they were not injured in the process.
Area around Norfolk Southern and the tunnel, the abandoned tunnel and the caves that go underneath Lookout Mountain.
The Chattanooga Fire Department had to shut down train operations at the rescue location while they looked for the lost men, something they say isn't out of the norm to request.
We don't know when those trains are coming, and shutting them down completely is the right thing to do to protect responders and anybody that may else be involved. And that all goes in with the training that we do with Norfolk Southern and CSX Rail, as we do training for that specifically. So these conversations have been ongoing for years.
Norfolk Southern told Local 3 News their operations were halted for 12 hours. They were unable to comment on the cost that comes with this.
We understand there's a monetary impact with that when it happens, so we try to do it as infrequent as possible.
This is a cost that is inflicted on the railroad companies. It is not transferred to the city or county. Norfolk Southern says where these men were is not a place for the public, and the area where the cave was accessed is an active railroad tunnel with trains going through at all hours of the day. The railroad company could not speak on if trespassing charges will be filed at this time.
Norfolk Southern said in a statement, "We are grateful these men were rescued safely, and we're proud of the members of our team who assisted in the rescue effort. Nevertheless, railroad tracks are never a place for the public to explore, no matter the circumstances." In Lookout Mountain, Mary Frances Hoots, Local 3 News.
Thank you, Mary Frances. What a beautiful March day in the Tennessee Valley. And yes, I've been looking ahead to the weekend, as has Chief Meteorologist David Karnes.
Oh, yeah.
What do you have for us, Dave?
You know, the weekend is actually the only part of the forecast I'm not going to do today. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
You better.
Yeah, it is phenomenal outside. Upper 70s. A lot of folks got to the upper 70s. Just beautiful blue skies. You pick the adjective. It is a good one out there today from our view at missionridge.com camera. So you know a lot of the windows are down, a lot of the elbows are out, and people are cruising home, getting ready for a wonderful, wonderful evening. It is warm and toasty outside even right now. 78 degrees in Chattanooga, 69 degrees in Blue Ridge, Murphy, also 75 in Cleveland. Made it up to the mid-70s even in Monteagle with light winds out of the north at 5 miles per hour. It is 9 to 13 degrees warmer than it was 24 hours ago. And here are some of our Skywatcher readings. Cindy and Riceville checked in with 76, Unaka 75 degrees. We had Yvette and Delano saying 77 degrees, 74 in 10 Mile. Cagle even at 72, and Mineral Bluff checking in at 72 as well. So getting out this evening, maybe sit on the porch and just enjoy and rest from a long, hard day's work. We're going to get down to 66 by 7, 61 by 8. It will be a beautiful evening for whatever you have planned. Only thing is, a lot of folks got the scratchy throat going on. Pollen counts were in the moderate category yesterday. Now we're up into the high category, and we're going to stay that way, if not even get a little bit higher as we head through Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And then we'll have some rain, most likely knocking a lot of that pollen out of the air. Also watching the air quality, it's in the moderate category, so we'll keep an eye on that as that high pressure continues to keep the air from circulating that much. So take a look. It is warm now, so you want to go out and start planting everything. Now, maybe hold off just a little bit. The average last freeze is March 29th, or the median last freeze, I should say. Median last frost is April 4th, and we are watching in the next week or so for a cold snap to move through. So we typically, during the month of March, see those. We'll have a cold snap here and there, even into April. So just hold off on the planning for now, and we will have more on that. As a matter of fact, we're going to start to see some cooler air moving into the Tennessee Valley by Tuesday into Wednesday. Until then, look at that, probably even reaching about 80 on Sunday, then 75 on Monday. We'll have rain and thunderstorms moving in Monday afternoon into Monday night, and then behind that we'll dry out and have cooler weather. I say cooler, temperatures will drop down to, well, about where they should be this time of the year. DC?
All right, thank you very much, David. Hamilton County Commissioner Tim Boyd released a 46-page complaint he submitted to the Tennessee Comptroller's Office about District Attorney Neil Pinkston. Pinkston was found to be in violation of the state's nepotism law when he employed his wife and brother-in-law. Pinkston has since placed them both on paid leave, and Commissioner Boyd is asking for Pinkston's immediate resignation. At last night's State of the Union address, President Biden said more free at-home coronavirus test kits will be available for order next week as part of his administration's ongoing COVID plan.
We've made hundreds of millions of tests available, and you can order them for free to your doorstep. And we've already ordered free tests. If you already ordered free tests tonight, I'm announcing you can order another group of tests. Go to covidtest.gov starting next week, and you can get more tests.
In January, the White House began providing 4 free rapid antigen tests to any household that requested them online. And as he mentioned, you can do it again at covidtest.gov. Every home in the U.S. can order 4 more tests starting next week. There were 500 million free tests available in the beginning. Fewer than 300 million have been ordered as of now. The CDC estimates a total of 140 million COVID-19 infections so far in the U.S., even though just over 74 million were reported in January. This new higher number is a result of a blood test survey that provides an estimate of the population that has been previously infected. The blood samples came in from all over the nation. Asymptomatic or mild cases not identified through testing may explain the difference in numbers. Here in Hamilton County, we reported 39 new COVID cases today. More than 97,000 have been reported here in Hamilton since the beginning of the pandemic. The U.S. is moving toward a new stage in the pandemic. You might call it a return to normalcy. The White House released its national COVID-19 preparedness plan, which in part will focus on keeping businesses and schools open while also keeping an eye out on future variants. Now, this plan does not change the masking guidance for those who use public transportation.
Last week's guidance from CDC on masking did not change air and rail travel requirements, including the requirements to wear a mask on public transportation. Those requirements are currently in place through March 18th, and they'll continue to be so while we evaluate leading up to March 18th the duration of the requirement based on the state of the virus. So no change, but an evaluation taking place at this point.
The White House's plan will also include efforts to get children under 5 vaccinated if and when the FDA and CDC give that recommendation. The UN General Assembly has voted to condemn the Russian invasion of Ukraine, but a few countries voted against that. We'll tell you all about it right after the break. Russia continues its invasion of Ukraine. This map shows how the Russians moved into the country and the areas that are now considered under Russian control, including Chernobyl, as forces push south from the border shared with Belarus towards the capital city. The UN General Assembly overwhelmingly voted in favor of condemning Russia for its actions against Ukraine. The tally was 141 in favor and only 5 nations voting against it. You see that standing ovation. It doesn't happen often at the UN. This occurred after the final numbers were displayed. This resolution also demands Russia immediately withdraw all troops from Ukraine. Now, the 5 nations that voted against condemning Russia for its actions include Russia, also Belarus, North Korea, Syria, and a Northeast African country called Eritrea. The condemnation is legally non-binding and most likely won't have much of an impression on Russia. There's a growing need for humanitarian aid for those impacted in Ukraine. The Better Business Bureau says watch out for scammers, and there is one way to give that is safer than others.
I will say that we still, if it's possible to put your donation on a credit card, that's still always your most secure way to do so, so that if this should turn out to be a bogus offer that you're supporting, you have a way to work with your financial institution to address that. We really try to steer people away from cash apps and certainly debit cards, because if it is a bogus offer, they could be just trying to get information about your account and more funds could be taken from your account.
You can go to give.org for a list of the organizations that meet the BBB's charity standards. Coming up, Major League Baseball's 2022 season is still on hold. Yeah, nobody's warming up right now. Does anybody know how long fans will have to wait?
You're making David Carroll very upset. Baseball better get on it. Come on. Looking at the warm weather, getting even warmer, mid to upper 70s through the weekend. We might even touch 80 by Sunday, and then everything cools back down. We'll have the details for forecast next on Local 3 News.
Local 3 Traffic, presented by CHI Memorial. New year, new career. CHI Memorial offers patient care tech training for those who want to start a career in the medical field. Apply at memorial.org/careers.
Seeing some heavier traffic on major routes in the area. I-24, as you head through that rich cut, you might find some heavier traffic around the 24-27 split. And watch out for Chattanooga police working to clear an accident, Browns Ferry Road near Patton Chapel Road, and also out with one on Macaulay Avenue at Shallowford. From the US 101 Information Center, it's Mo with your Local 3 traffic.
Thank you, Mo. 13 million children may have experienced food insecurity last year in the U.S. Here in Tennessee, 1 in 6 children face hunger issues, and volunteers with the Snack Pack program are working to ensure no child in Hamilton County goes hungry. Here's Elise Zwick.
More than 200 volunteers have arrived this morning to help fight food insecurity in Hamilton County schools. This is the biggest turnout yet. Janice Robertson is a local resident and real estate agent with a desire to help make sure no child goes hungry. She started the Snack Pack ministry in East Brainerd Church of Christ 8 years ago after her son, the current superintendent of Hamilton County Schools, and the former principal at Red Bank High School expressed the need for students in our area. She started packing snack packs to be distributed to students. Volunteers filled the room in an assembly line to pack over 10,000 bags to be distributed to children in need.
Well, it starts out getting the food in on crates, and we have to go from the crate to the box to smaller boxes, and we unpack all of the food and put it in tubs, and then we set the tubs out on the packing morning, and then everybody just goes down the line. It's almost like trick or treat, but you're grabbing your own.
Robertson says they have grown from packing 150 bags per week to around 2,300. The program packs monthly and is always in need of new volunteers. Reporting in East Brainerd, Elise Zwick, Local 3 News.
Thank you, Elise. The Atlanta Braves' hopes of defending their World Series title will have to wait a while. Baseball Commissioner Rob Manfred says the first week of the season has been scratched after the league and its players failed to come to an agreement on a new contract before the deadline. Here's NBC's Sam Brock.
It's been more than a quarter of a century since Major League Baseball canceled games because of a labor dispute. The 1994 strike was the last time. Yet here we are again, Commissioner Rob Manfred announcing that the first 2 series of the season will be canceled. That equates to 91 games and counting. Now, what's going on behind all of this? Really, economics is at the heart of the dispute. Picture the fact that Major League Baseball has made about 30% of an increase in revenues from $8.2 billion in 2015 to nearly $11 billion right before the pandemic. But player salaries at the same time have plateaued or even gone down a little bit. They average about $4 million. That sounds like a lot of money. However, the minimum salary in Major League Baseball is currently about $570,000. That is way less than the other 3 major American sports, the NHL, NFL, and NBA. So the players have been asking for more money, certainly in that respect, also to get their younger, talented athletes paid earlier. Major League Baseball, though, did come up on their offer. They offered to increase minimum salary by $100,000+, but the two sides cannot get together on a host of other issues, most of them revolving around how to pay these athletes, which means right now we are in lockout mode, and it's not clear when these two sides might meet again. The Florida delegation of players is now back in New York. Rob Manfred said it's possible the earliest they could come to an agreement would be Thursday. That seems extremely unlikely, given the size of the canyon of differences between these two sides. Now we just sit and wait. In Miami, Sam Brock, NBC News.
And I'm proud to say that David Karnes has not walked out.
But I'm starting to get ideas, though.
Don't get any
DC,
ideas.
real quick, before you take me full,
Yes.
Did they say that the minimum salary was going to be $100,000, or they wanted it to be raised $100,000?
Oh, I'm glad you asked that. They're wanting it to be $100,000 more. And obviously that isn't enough of a raise, as we all understand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Must be tough. Okay, quick look outside. It is going to be gorgeous. Baseball strike aside, what a great day. Nice evening stroll, sure, go for it. 78 right now, and we will plummet to 66 by 7 o'clock, 61 by 8 p.m. sunset time, 6:37. So mid to upper 70s, just going to continue right through the weekend. We'll finally get that front moving through on Monday. That's going to bring in rain and heavy rain at that. Maybe some thunderstorms also, and then behind that, we're finally going to see some cooling moving in on Tuesday. So I think you will actually enjoy the cooler weather. It'll be dropping down into the upper 50s, which quite frankly is where we should be this time of the year. Mid to upper 70s right now in the valley on the plateau. Also looking at upper 60s in the Blue Ridge, and north wind at 5 miles per hour. And take a look at some of the highs that were reported. Roddy in East Brainerd said 83 degrees. You kidding me? 70 in Lookout Mountain, 78 North Chattanooga, 75 Ringgold, 77 in Cleveland, Monteagle, 68 for the high today. So it was a warm one. Nothing on our radar imagery, cloud cover, non-existent, just those beautiful blue skies. A futurecast keeping it that way tonight, clear skies, and we'll stay clear on into Thursday. You see this cool front trying to work its way down. That's not going to cool us down at all. We'll stay in the mid to upper 70s into Friday. Notice this warm front, the southerly winds will stay warm and sunny through Friday. I think Friday night we'll see some clouds moving in, and it'll be partly cloudy on Saturday, and into Sunday I think we'll even see that southerly flow getting us up to about 80 degrees for the high, but the rain stays away on Sunday also. It's going to be Monday when we see that front finally breaking through, and notice not just do you have the rain, but you have cooler weather to the west of that front, and that is going to be spilling down into the Tennessee Valley. But this is about 5 o'clock, so for the afternoon-evening commute on Monday, you may be dealing with some heavy rain, maybe even some decent little thunderstorms popping up, so we'll watch for that. And then Monday overnight into Tuesday will begin to clear out, and the northerly winds will take over, and we'll see temperatures going from the upper 70s down to the upper 50s, about a 20-degree temperature drop. Rainfall could be pretty decent, anywhere from an inch to an inch and a half, and up in the Blue Ridge may even see more than 2 inches of rain. That's preliminary. I'm sure we'll adjust those totals, but boy, those numbers a little bit. But we have had quite the rainy year. As a matter of fact, February, top 10 in terms of rainfall, number 9 on the list at 9.56 inches of rain just for the month of February. So clear skies tonight. It's going to be amazing. Go out this evening, 45 degrees, the overnight low. We'll drop down to 40 in Cleveland, 37 in Murphy, and 40 in Dalton. And then tomorrow, here we go, warm and sunny. Super spring-like. 77 degrees will be the high, 76 Dalton and 75 in Cleveland. And our Storm Alert 7-day forecast is absolutely beautiful, warm, comfortable weather. 80 Sunday, 75 Monday with more cloud cover, and then we'll see that rain and thunderstorm activity moving in late in the day. And then as it fades away, we'll see cooler air sinking in, highs back to the upper 50s.